This comment was left under the post where I was speaking to women fighting for the right to work and the right to earn their keep, and how ridiculous it is to want to revert to living under men. There was quite a few comments like this. That was white women fighting, not black women. Black women always had to work. And every time I speak to something like this, there's always the same comments, because most people they're just repeating what they hear online, and they lack the ability to make sense of it. It sounds good, so they run with it. Now, we know feminism was created by white women who could not work. We know that. And who didn't have rights in certain things that black women didn't have either. So it's not the point of whether they fought for it or whether they created it or whether it was their movement. The point is, black women still benefited from the fight. Women benefited from the fight, right? Black men especially try to create the narrative that black women were fine with being in the state that they were in, and white women convinced us it's better to work. It's better to earn your keep. And that is not so. Sure, white women enrolled us in feminism, in the movement for numbers. Sure, there was a lot of racism. Sure, black women had to work. But let's remember that black people came from a matriarchal society. So black women always been running shit. That wasn't a seed that they planted in our heads to abandon our men and work and all these things. That wasn't the goal. But see, a lot of men who are not self-actualized, who are weak in nature, they equate women working and having their own to the downfall of this proverbial community. Again, black women always worked. We came from a matriarchal society. That means we're not a stranger to labor. That's not the point. The point is we benefited from what they fought for. White women weren't fighting for the right to do the work black women did. Nobody wanted to do that work. Right? The point is, whoever started the shit, however it was done, we still benefited from it, and it worked for us. That is the point. And why would you want to revert to not even having the opportunity, the option to choose whether you want to work or not? Black women always worked, and black women also fought for rights, for autonomy, to be free and all these things. The womanist movement was born, right? So it's not like we had no gripe. See, black men conveniently forget stuff like that. Women wanted to separate from the Black Power Party, the Black Panther Party, the Black Power movement, because of all the abuse and sexism and all the things that went on amongst black men and black women. So black women always been fighting for the rights that we claim only white women were fighting for. Black women did not want to live under men. I don't know where y'all getting that from. As if white women convinced us to not want to. We never wanted to do that. We didn't come from that. Patriarchy is a white man's thing, isn't it? Y'all didn't come from that. So I don't know. Again, I don't know why y'all keep repeating the same talking point. Black women been fighting for what they wanted. We just remember the feminist movement because it's convenient to the narrative we want to spew. And I don't even know how this became a race thing. I never mentioned the feminist movement. I simply said women fought for the right to work. So why would we want to revert to not having our own? But see, people want to create narratives to make things work for them. Oh, that was white women. Oh, the white man gave you permission to work and all this stuff. However you want to spin it, it still benefited us. Where we don't have to be subjected to living under men, which we did not even come from. Let's not forget that. Anytime I make videos about women being powerful and autonomous and successful, there's always like a group of men who are offended by that. And I get it, because those men don't know what it's like to be loved by a woman. They don't know what it's like to be aligned with a woman who is successful, right? They align with women who belittle them and make them feel like chumps. And that's unfortunate, right? But I'm not speaking to these kinds of men and women who do that to men, right? Because you don't have to belittle people in order to be successful. You don't have to, in order to be powerful, you don't have to demean and diminish others. But a lot of these men, that's their experiences with women. And so they need to align with women who have nothing so that they can feel like men. That's unfortunate. That's not who I'm speaking to, and that's not what I'm speaking to. And so again, Black women always have been fighting for autonomy, respect, power, equality. We've always done that. That's not something white women planted in our heads. And that's not something that we engaged in to diminish or belittle Black men. But again, a lot of men equate women with being at their best to them being at their worst, because that's how men think. Everything with them is it's like what Genghis Khan said, it's not enough that I succeed, it's that others must fail. That's how men think. And so they can't understand that a woman could be successful and they don't have to take a hit from it. Right? Black women have always fought. Black women have always wanted to be seen as human. So that's not something unique to white women. They did not convince us of anything, but y'all take that narrative and you use that and you run with it, so conveniently forgetting all of the issues Black women had with Black men. Let's not forget that. This comment